When most people think of the New York City Underground, they probably think of rats, mole people, and trains running 10 minutes behind schedule. But here at Grand Central Terminal, the country's third biggest train station, there's something else lurking in the tunnels. A specially trained fire brigade with its own fleet of vehicles that operates separate of the FDNY. Today, my job will be training with the Grand Central Fire Brigade to see what it takes to prepare for emergencies at one of the country's busiest train stations.
Howdy, I'm Justin. I've only had one serious big boy job my entire life, and that's writing hot takes for Jalopnik. But the true struggle of a blogger is not having your friends and family take your job seriously. And sometimes even I begin to wonder if I have it too good. So now I'm pulling up my bootstraps and going out to callous my delicate blogger hands with real work experience. It's time for me to find a real job. If you've ever experienced the sheer scale of Grand Central Terminal in person, you can appreciate why it might need its own fire response team, but it didn't always have one.
In the early 80s, when the MTA and Metro North Railroad took over what is now the Metro North commuter service out of Grand Central Terminal, they had a pretty substantial fire in one of the yards, and the FDNY got together in an after action and said, listen, we need to do a little bit better on training and logistics.
It ended up okay and no one died, but it was enough to inspire the FDNY to improve its approach. Over the last 40 years, it's grown into a 20-person team with a fleet of 3 electric vehicles working shifts 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, stretching from 42nd Street in Midtown Manhattan all the way up past 56th Street and onto the Bronx.
I hope that's for me. Am I gonna get to dress as a firefighter?
Yeah, we're gonna do it all.
My childhood dream.
The standard is 2 minutes, right? You should
2
be able to
minutes?
do this.
I'm sorry to everyone whose lives I'm entrusted with.
So you're gonna go out, put the jacket on, thumb holes,
Ooh.
put on the helmet.
I have a very big head.
So I have a couple pieces of equipment here, flathead axe, and then this is called a Halligan bar. Now we're gonna throw on the air tank.
Like, I'm dying. Can
right.
I take off, like,
Yeah,
maybe...
we'll drop some stuff.
I want to keep the helmet on. I like the helmet a lot.
Okay.
The vehicle itself, does it come as is, or did you guys...
No, it was spec'd out by someone by a group of people from our unit, specifically so it can fit in all public spaces within Grand Central Terminal, both height, width, and length. So this compartment here has a good amount of basic medical supplies, and then we have some additional supplies that you wouldn't typically find on a traditional ambulance. Stair chair compartment. This is what we would use to get a patient from one point to another.
That's very cool. What's the next vehicle?
It's our pumper truck, early 90s vehicle. It's the oldest one in the fleet. It's got 200 gallons of water on board. It's got a forestry pump in the back that can give you a boost in pressure if need be. No power steering, so it can be a little bit of a workout when you drive it.
Yeah. And all of these vehicles are electric, and that's because you're underground, you don't want emissions.
Correct. So they're all electric. They all have a very large battery bank, about 8 or 10 batteries per unit.
And then to charge them, you do it in here.
Yep, all the charging takes place here in the firehouse. We have cord reels established.
Of the 3 main vehicles, there's one more left, right?
There's one more left that we'll take a look outside.
That's outside. All right, let's go.
So this is the workhorse of the fleet. It can start any operation, whether it's a medical call, it's a fire-related call, it's an investigation, it's a basic rescue, whatever the operation is, we can get it started with this piece. So that's one of the reasons why we use it as our primary piece. One of the first features it has is it has air packs built into the seats. All right, so those air packs that you were wearing before are built right into the seats. All right, they're secured inside. So on this side, we've got a pretty good complement of hand tools, firefighting equipment, and investigative tools. All right. So starting at the top here, basic hand tools, Sawzall, a grinder, a drill, associated batteries, associated bits, associated safety gear. Up here is one of our most functional tools. This is one of our 2 thermal imaging cameras. As you pan around, you're seeing relative heat within the frame. Things that are the warmest relative to those things around it are going to be whiter or lighter, and those things that are cooler in the screen are going to be darker.
This is so cool.
Here we have
We got a call? I just got a call, and what's happening is the vehicle that we were going over, it looks like they need. So he's loading up all the stuff that we pulled out, and then I guess they're gonna go.
coming.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll come down. Here you go. There you go. So they're just going to thoroughly investigate. They believe they have the cause, right?
Yeah.
Probably construction workers that were working in the area or maintenance workers that were working in the area that activated the smoke head. We're always going to go triple, double check everything and make sure, it was an accidental activation. We confirm that, we make sure of that. This way, there's no, problems down the road.
How fast did they get there? Because we were...
The first guy was here confirming that there was no fire, right? That's the most important piece of this puzzle, right? Arrive and confirm there's no actual incident, because if there's an actual incident, that's when we need to start out the fire department, right? The New York City Fire Department to respond, and then transition into more of a liaison mode where we're the subject matter experts in the building, providing them with guidance to get to where they need to go.
All right, well, considering we're all still standing here, I'm assuming everything is fine?
Everything's fine. They confirmed probably within about the first 2 minutes of the activation that there was no actual fire.
Cool. You ready to go?
Ready to go.
I see we're in front of a fire hose. I hope that means I get to play with water.
We're not going to necessarily play with water. We're going to go through the process of hooking up the hose.
Okay.
Before we do any of that, we're going to go ahead and put our safety gear on. So hard hat, vest, safety glasses, and gloves. This is called rack hose. Yeah. This is designed for occupant use. It gives us a little bit more functionality when we're connecting the other appliances and the other hose. This goes right on the inside here. All right, you line your threads up. All right, being careful that you're not cross-threading it. So now we've got our elbow facing out and down.
All right.
The next setup that you see here is a gate valve, and next to that is an inline gauge. Our gate valve gives us the ability to turn on and off the water from here should there be an issue with this valve up here. So we're going to go ahead and put it on there. Beautiful. Go ahead.
All right. Righty-tighty. We don't want any hoses going rogue.
Now what you're going to do, you're going to grab this hose, you're going to start to unwind it as you walk down to the end, and I'll meet you down there with the nozzle.
Oh, man. All right. Do you ever get the temptation to just let it roll?
When you get good, you can just toss it.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You want to toss it?
No, I
Okay.
want you to do some work.
All right.
One of the best ways to do this is you take your foot, you put it right on the end there, and then it allows you to keep the hose in line and straight, and it also brings it up slightly.
Whoa.
All right, so now you have your hose, you're ready to go. The bail forward is always in the closed position, the bail backwards, all right, or towards us in the open position.
Now it's supposed to swivel like this?
It is supposed to swivel, right? It's supposed to give you the flexibility. You do have a pistol grip here. A lot of people, me in particular, I don't love the dependency on the pistol grip, right? Because really what you want when you're holding the hose line is you want to have the reach of the hose. So with everything we do in the fire service, right? We set it up.
Gotta take it down. I feel like I had a pretty good first day. I'm glad that I actually got to be a little bit of hands-on.
Nice.
Okay, if I pick this up, is it gonna explode?
Nope.
All right. The show is called Justin Gets a Real Job, and the final question is, do you think I would be capable of doing this job from what you've seen today?
I'm gonna fall back on what I said before. Repetition, repetition, repetition. I think you can do it.
All right, thank you very much. Does that mean is that a job offer, or?
You have to speak to our human resources department about that. Just gonna go stand on top of it and put it down. And that's it.
Nice and easy. I cannot do this quickly. I'm sorry to everyone whose lives I'm entrusted with.